Hello and welcome to Breaking Bread with Rivaaj Maharaj, where nothing is off the table. For today's episode, I wanted to talk on the current issues plaguing the French and German governments regarding their fighter jet program. So without further ado, let's get into it. I've come across an article in Reuters, and it's a really intriguing and revealing article, and I think it's one that needs to be discussed. The title is Exclusive: Germany Seeks More F-35 Jets as European Fighter Program Falters, Sources Say. Now, the reason I flagged this as an article of concern is because after Donald Trump's speeches at Davos and his belligerent attitude towards the European Union and his insistence on wanting to annex the territory of Greenland, and Marco Rubio's subsequent comments at the Munich Security Conference, as well as the fact that Pete Hegseth skipped the last defense meeting and sent his subordinate instead, Europe then decided to climb on this high horse and say to the world that they don't need the United States and they'll go it alone, and they are militarizing, and how they were going to take on the Russians in the near future. And all this while Keir Starmer was mouthing off as well about what he's going to contribute. And I've been saying in my videos, Europe has nothing to offer. Since the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Europe became really complacent, took the money that was allocated for its defense, put it into all these Mickey Mouse projects of gender reassignment and changing the education system, and all these sick woke ideologies that it was perpetuating. And Kaja Kallas just recently at the Munich conference doubled down on this. So I keep saying these morons are living in an alternate universe, because while they're spouting out all this nonsense to the public, you have an article like this come out where the joint partnership between France and Germany and their ability to build these fighter jets that were supposed to be the be all and end all, now that program now seems to be in trouble, and for want of a better word, it looks like it's going to be shelved, thus forcing Germany to look at buying at least another 20 odd F-35 fighters from the United States, notwithstanding the 22 that are going to be delivered beginning in this year from a deal that it had signed in 2022 with the United States. My point I'm trying to make here is that the Europeans have gone on this bravado mission, talking about how they're going to do this and that, and they're incapable of even getting this off the ground. So they've got to run with their tail between their legs to the Americans and ask for these fighter jets while they explore other options. And at the same time telling you they're going to take on the Russians, the Chinese are a threat, and that they're going to supply this, that, and the other to Ukraine. So on what planet this makes sense, I don't know. I really don't know, because if you need to abandon your native homegrown fighter jet program because you're incapable of reaching a decision on the system regarding that program, it's a lot worse than we all thought, and God help Europe. So let's have a look at what this article has to say. Germany and France may abandon the Joint Fighter Jet Program, FCAS. German F-35 purchase would follow 2022 order for 35 jets. Move would buy Germany time to find an alternative to the FCAS jet. Berlin, Washington, February 18th, Reuters. Germany is considering ordering more US-made F-35 fighter jets, two sources told Reuters. A move that would deepen Berlin's reliance on American military technology as its joint next-generation fighter program with France falters. One source said Berlin was in talks that could lead to the purchase of more than 35 additional jets. A second source did not specify the number. Both sources cautioned that the outcome was still uncertain. Asked for comment, a German government spokesperson denied any current plans to purchase additional F-35 fighter jets. There are no plans and there is no decision, the spokesperson said. A spokesperson for the Defense Ministry in Berlin said in a statement there were currently no concrete plans or political decisions for the procurement of more F-35s. In 2022, Germany purchased 35 of the aircraft, which are due to begin delivery later this year. Franco-German fighter jet collaboration on the rocks. The potential acquisition of more Lockheed Martin stealth fighters at a cost of more than $80 million each comes as Germany and France are deadlocked on their future combat air system program. The €100 million project launched in 2017 to replace France's Rafale and Eurofighters from 2040 has been stalled by industrial rivalries. Insiders expect Germany and France to abandon the development of a joint fighter jet but continue cooperation on drones and so-called combat cloud, the digital backbone linking manned and unmanned platforms within the FCAS system.
Intriguing news coming out of Germany as Reuters recently reported that the country is considering ordering more US-made F-35 fighter jets. Around the same time that this news is emerging, it's being reported that the FCAS project with France is essentially dead, although no official confirmation has been made on this front.
So again, what are the takeaways? They're not able to reach a decision on this FCAS system or program to be implemented. So straight away you have an issue. This is the thing that plagues Europe all the time. They are woefully incapable of making a decision. There is so much of back and forth that, even Zelensky at Davos said to them that they are incapable of making decisions. And this has now resulted in them having to go to the Americans. And bear in mind that these F-35s that the Americans will supply to them will come with strings attached. So they're heavily moderated by the do's and don'ts that you are allowed by the American administration. So, again, we keep posturing about how we're going to take on the Russians. Believe me, if this is the state of our military, if this is the state of our political elite, and they are incapacitated into making simple decisions, how on earth are they planning to take on the Russians? It just doesn't make sense. Nevertheless, the Ukrainians seem to be quite excited that they can rely on Europe. If this is the Europe they're going to rely on, God help Europe and God help Ukraine, because I don't see anything happening. And I see the Russians walking all over everybody. I want to thank you for taking the time to spend with us. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, as it helps us with the algorithm and it helps our channel to grow.